By the way, that is a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot.
Well, fake news has always been embedded in our culture. It just wasn't called that. The supermarket rags gave popular rise to blatantly fake news, with front-page images of aliens impregnating unsuspecting, usually large-breasted earthling women. So if fake news by other names has always been around, why does it suddenly become the stuff of daily headlines during the 2016 campaign? I did a little digging and I traced the effort to a nonprofit called First Draft, which appears to be about the first to use the phrase fake news in its modern context. Exactly 1 month later, President Obama chimed in.
If fake news that's being released by some foreign government, it's not surprising that that foreign propaganda will have a greater effect, because it doesn't seem that far-fetched compared to some of the other stuff that folks are hearing from domestic propagandists.
What if the whole anti-fake news campaign was an effort on somebody's part to keep us from seeing or believing certain websites and stories? So I wondered, who's behind the massive effort to direct our attention onto fake news?
Spread of fake news online, a threat to democracy. Facebook and other social media sites are being criticized for not doing enough to stop bogus stories that seem to dominate the election cycle.
This week, social media giants Facebook and Google said they will go after hoax websites by restricting ad revenue.
I wanted to know who was funding the nonprofit First Draft and its anti-fake news effort. I found the answer. It was Google. Google's parent company Alphabet was run by a man named Eric Schmidt. Eric Schmidt, as it happens, had devoted himself to Hillary Clinton's election campaign. His company funded First Draft around the start of the election cycle. Not surprisingly, Hillary was soon to jump aboard the anti-fake news train.
It's now clear that so-called fake news can have real-world consequences.
The anti-fake news campaign backfired. Each time advocates cried fake news, Donald Trump called them fake news until he'd co-opted the term so completely. In fact, it's now commonly misreported that it was Donald Trump who thought up the phrase.
After President Trump redeployed a small number of troops out of northern Syria, ABC News ran footage of what it said was the Turkish hellfire raining down on our ally, or sometime ally, the Kurds. Only later did we find out the footage was not of the Turkish invasion at all. The footage came from a Kentucky gun show in 2017.
Nearly every scene or image that crosses our path in daily life, he said, was put there for a reason, often by someone who paid a lot of money to place it there.
A Canadian transgender athlete is facing a backlash after winning the Cycling World Championship.
I estimated it was about 3,000 to 1 negative and generally very hateful comments to positive ones. They should respect an athlete's legally recognized sex or gender.
I feel that's blatantly unfair, because if a person has gone through puberty, they have just incredible advantages.
Terry Miller and Andrea Yearwood dominating the competition at the Girls Track and Field Championships in Canada.
When we are all at the start line, we all know that these two athletes are going to win.
Just imagine that you were both born girls, and then all of a sudden you had two boys who identified as being girls, and they said, hey, we're going to be on your team.
And it was just pushed me to run faster.
This can greatly impact my future with college scholarships.
It allows her to be who she wants to be, and I think that has a little bit more weight than just winning a medal.
The rule states that students are entitled to participate on a team based on their gender identity, how they identify.
But I've had people reach out to me on social media, as well as athletes from other schools, and they've thanked me for my speaking out. And right now, currently, in Connecticut, I am the only girl who is speaking out. Everyone else is too afraid.
The school system here, I'm not sure about America, but it's outdated.
It's outdated globally.
It's outdated globally.
The internet made it outdated because information is a commodity, and the school system was built on memorization of information. Why do I have to do any math? I have a calculator on my iPhone that can give you any math. Yeah. I don't need to know anything. I can ask Siri and Alexa in 2 seconds, they'll give me the answer. You know, who cares about the periodic table when I can tell you what, like it's so uncomfortably outdated globally because it's predicated on memorization of information in a world where we have information at our fingertip within a second for zero cost, the whole thing's dead.
How do we fix it?
It's the parents' responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility to not buy into the self-esteem wrapped up in your child going to a top university.
Saya Krisnadi, saya mantan pemain PSIM tahun 2015 sampai 17 dan terakhir main di PSMP Mojokerto dan terkena kasus yang janggal. Sebelum pertandingan sekitar pukul 12 itu semua pemain, pelatih di briefing sama manajer. Babak pertama dibuat skor sekian dulu, nanti babak kedua skor sekian, terus nanti babak kedua melihat hasil dari Kalteng Putra lawan Persemen Padang. Saya masuk menit-menit akhir. Saya ambil pas pada saat dapat penalti itu saya ambil minum, kita ambil minum diinstruksi itu dibilangin suruh nggak masuk. Saya ke dalam, saya bilang sama Andre Dio yang tahun ini main di Persiba Balikpapan, yuk suruh nggak masuk katanya yuk. Saya bilang sama Indra Setiawan yang tahun main top skor, kecak nih kondo kontra mlebu. Akhirnya Andre Dio mundur, Indra Setiawan mau ambil tapi agak ragu-ragu gimana pas nggak tahu itu wawahi spontanitas saja aku bilang, wes cak aku wes cak, loh temen lah Chris, wes temen dong anaknya sak ape-ape. Nah di situ saya pertama bingung, ini naluri saya ya pengennya golke, tapi iki instruksi wedine nek resikonya piye-piye ya seperti itulah. Akhirnya ya sudahlah, saya tendang. Memang sengaja saya mengakui kesalahan saya itu saya tidak masukkan, dan pada habis menendang itu saya sujud, saya meminta ampun pada yang Maha Kuasa jika memang kelakuan atau tendangan ini itu sebuah pembohongan publik, dan itu memang pure saya mengakui kesalahan itu. Tapi ada sebab ada akibat. Kenapa akibatnya kamu nendang penalti? Sebabnya ada instruksi, ada yang nyuruh. Yang nyuruh